I was floating in full awareness of what happened. I had no blackouts regarding who I was, or I had better say, what I was. I wasn't angry with Alex. I wasn't missing anyone or anything. I was free from my body and its limitations, free from any fate or purpose of existence. As I kept thinking all those questions that seemed meaningless, I started falling slowly. I was aware that I no longer had a body, yet I felt an arm slowing down my fall like a safety belt. I was staring at a circle of fire. I stopped moving. Someone was holding me still to that point so that I could see the circle. I remembered the necklace. There was no real fire. I was watching all people's energies balanced. Everyone and everything was there in 2 dimensions for me to see. I could feel that the circle was floating. It was so balanced that it seemed to stand still in harmony and serenity like me. The flames weren't just names with faces. It was time itself, running through life and death. I was staring at it in the form of a superposition principle. Everyone and everything were equal to their opposites, forming an electric field. As long as I was floating, I was creating a magnetic field. But I wasn't doing that on my own. I was gravitating towards my nameless entity, and he was gravitating towards me. Show me, I thought. I knew he was standing behind my back. I knew he had access to my reality, but I lacked access to his. My perception was too limited to do that without his help. He divided me. I was at 2 points at once. I was still staring at the fiery circle, and at the same time I was watching 2 circles rotating from their level. I could even see us standing in between them, surrounding them in a Mobius strip. His circle was smaller yet stronger enough to stay balanced with my world. Out of a sudden, I felt sad. I didn't see the Milky Way between Tanabata and Kengyu, but it felt like the 7th night of the 7th month when Vega met with Altair. I knew that I wasn't Vega and he wasn't Altair, but this was the closest I could ever get to his home. I could hear him speaking into my mind. Are you sad? What can I do for you? I realized that he didn't have any feelings, at least not the way I had experienced them. I could sense a code of honor and that he felt connected to me in a way I couldn't understand, but didn't care much about it while watching all those energies orbiting into darkness. You are not happy, he said, orbiting in his serenity. I couldn't answer. It would make no difference this way or another, but my sadness turned into grief, and grief turned into lament. He took his arm off me and I started moving alone. I wanted to go back to my first calmness, but I couldn't. I hadn't killed Alex, and Alex hadn't killed anyone. I didn't turn Alex into a killer at this timeline. I should have earned my peace. I should have been able to see his home since I was asking for it. I should have known better than to trade Lisa for Alex. I made Lisa take her own life. I cheated on my way out, so there wasn't actually a way out, but a dead end. I had no tears to cry, so there was no relief for me. I started moving to nowhere's land. I was searching for oblivion in the absolute darkness. Although I couldn't see him, I felt his hand penetrating my chest, preventing me from moving forward. You know that you can't stay here, isn't it so? You don't belong here. Your time is yet to come. I will come for you, he said, and a frantic fall started. I was back on my body. Breathing was so painful that I felt the air ripping out my being in every groan of mine. Mark was standing next to the defibrillator waiting for the charge. I could listen to Alex shouting from a distance. You were lucky that we found you dead, otherwise I would kill you. You can't kill a corpse, so I brought you back to kill you for what you have done. Mark, remove the defibrillator now and take a step back. It's an order. Mark disappeared and Alex leaned on me. Lisa is dead. Mark couldn't bring her back, but he brought you back so that you can see my face while you die. Look at my face. You keep forgetting it. Remember me. He was holding a box on his hand. He raised his hand and then he smashed the box next to my head. You really hoped that I would kill you, didn't you? There is no clone of yours left alive, and you met the one you have been looking for all your life. You think it's the time I kill you, and I wait till you are ready to start all over again. I'm tired of this game. You're not willing to help me go back in time and fix it. I am not going to let you die and start all over. I smiled, watching him losing his temper. We were both screwed here. I wasn't the only one. Why do you smile? Do you believe that I would let you start over? Let me think for a minute. You think that you are the clone, and since Lisa is the prototype organism, her death will reboot the timeline. You die again, and this time permanently, and we go on our little game. I have got news for you. You are not a clone. The clone was in the tank. You are Lisa. I knew that the moment you realized that I had no intention of killing you this time, you would make someone else kill you. Mark would never kill you. Jim could kill anyone but you. So your only option left was yourself. So you switched places with the clone of yours. You kept killing your clones. You killed the last one. She was the best. We wouldn't be able to treat you otherwise. So we're back to the same starting point. No one is going anywhere or moving forward till you find the way to take us back in time and make a different choice. There is nowhere you can run to. We're all trapped in this prison and we'll keep coming back. Each time you will be a bit better because you will have learned something new, something you can't acknowledge at first, but you can use it instinctively. Each time you get a taste of it, you enjoy it more. You become addicted to it. You crave for one more bite of our souls, and we end up back here. A long time ago, I believed that I loved you. I would give my life to share an eternity with you, to create worlds just for you to play in absolute freedom, where I would find you again and again, fall in love with you like the very first time I saw you. It took you nothing more than a moment to make up your mind and push me over the edge. You already knew, yet you didn't hesitate. I wondered in your moment how was it possible that the woman I had been so fiercely in love could have such cold blood. Before I could come up with an answer, you made your move and you left me with no option but kill you. I would have forgiven you decades ago if I saw a glimpse of hesitation, but there was no such thing. I spent decades waiting for you to be reborn, searching for you again and again while searching for answers. What would have happened if I never met you? What would have happened if you didn't smile at me the very first time you laid eyes on me? Did you know? Did anyone whisper something to your ear, all those things that were yet to come? If you were given the choice to go back in time, would you choose to stop you? I had so many questions for so many years that there was no room left for any emotion. I can't feel anything for you, not anymore. I don't love you. I don't hate you either. I won't kill you, and killing yourself, as you realized, can't change your orbiting. You are like Sisyphus. You are hungry, and when you reach for the fruits, the trees get them so high that you can't reach them. You roll your stone to the top of the mountain, and once you are there and stop for a moment, the rock rolls back downhill. I know you are tired and you need some time to rest. Mark will get you to your house, and he will stay with you for the night to take care of you. I will stay here. Mark, don't take anything with you. You won't need it. She's okay. He walked out of the room as Mark was helping me stand on my feet. I swept the tears and tried to cover myself as I found myself half naked. Mark helped me sit on a chair, left the room for a while and came back with new clothes. Silently, he took off my clothes and put the new ones on me. I knew you, didn't I? That was in another lifetime. The woman I knew is dead. I made a promise and I'm honoring it. Let's get you home now. We arrived at my house, and he helped me lay down on my bed. I watched him move between rooms, bringing me anything that I could possibly need during the night effortlessly. We used to live together, didn't we? I asked him. I never said that. You didn't have to. You always seemed familiar with the house, but I thought that there were hidden cameras in here. I didn't say that there are no cameras here. Still, there are no photographs here. Didn't we used to have photographs in here? What do you really want to learn that you keep asking those stupid questions? Did you love me back then? I did. You didn't say I loved you. You are never satisfied with anything, not now, not then. Did I make you unhappy? It's time for you to go to sleep. I will go, I promise, as soon as you tell me a story. What story do you want me to pick up as a lullaby for you to fall asleep? What happened to this man at the photograph? He seems happy here. I opened the drawer and took a photograph from inside. What man? This man, and handed the photograph to him. He took the photograph, he looked at it and gave it back. How long have you known about your previous life? Time has never been my best friend. That's true. What else have you remembered? Lisa wasn't my real name. It was just a code name, so that I could understand that there was no Lisa. Yes, that's right. What was my name when this picture was taken? This woman no longer exists. And what about the man Mark? What about him? Does he still exist? Is he still somewhere over here hidden? I asked and leaned on him, touching his heart. You haven't changed a bit despite your amnesia. Mark removed my hand from his chest and stood up, irritated. Janus, you will stop at nothing in order to get what you want. Has it ever crossed your mind that I am human and not a machine? That I used to be that person who loved you and was happy? I used to be that man you look at the photograph. I used to be him. Look at me now and tell me, do you see the same man? He asked me with his fingers pointing the man at the photograph. What happened? You happened. You started waking up in the nights, wandering in this house that used to be our home, but now it's nothing more than a house to you. I asked you again and again what happened. In the beginning you gave me no answer and I remained silent. One night, you kept talking in your dreams, till your mumblings turned into a scream and you woke up. I asked you again. You locked yourself in the bathroom and slept there. You started avoiding me, so I started watching you while you were sleeping, looking for answers. One night, you opened your eyes and you looked into my eyes. At this point, I knew. What did you know? That you started orbiting. He came close and sat on the bed next to me. You weren't going to stop. Nothing mattered enough to change your mind. I asked you to stop whatever you were doing for the sake of us both, but you didn't. If I stood in your way, you wouldn't hesitate to penetrate me in every way you could think of, so that you would go on your way. I stepped aside. I could do nothing but watch you slipping through my hands day after day. Why didn't you move on with your life? You really don't remember, do you? I remember you calling me a collector, while being mad at me for some reason I can't recall. That's who you are, your true nature. You wander among people, picking up the ones who intrigue you. You are like a spider. You surround them, plotting silently your web, and when time is right, you put an invisible needle in their head and they can no longer move. Then you take them and you place them in tiny crystal boxes and you hide them away in your precious collection. The man who stands before you has your needle in his head. So what is it that you want from me and you are on Alex's side? Alex wants to get back to the time we met and delete that from ever happening. Are you helping him, hoping that he would do the same for you? You can't persuade me that you do it just for the money, or you couldn't do something else and leave all that behind. Even if Alex gets what he wants, this doesn't mean that I could ever be that woman again. I have no idea who she is. You made me promise. I did what? Soon after your dreams didn't let you sleep, you started searching for answers. You never talked with me about the dreams, your questions, or what answers you might have found. At some point, you stopped coming home in the nights. You came early in the morning and you fell asleep on the couch, or when you couldn't find it, you just passed out on the floor. At some point, when you couldn't find your answers and your questions started eating you alive, you started experimenting with drugs. You became an addict. Actually, you were an addict long before that, and you are still an addict. You just don't acknowledge that. I stood on the bed and removed the painting that there was on the wall. I placed it on the bed so that he could see the backside of it. I think that this was written for you. Mark took the painting on his hands and started reading what was written on its backside. I am sorry that I made you promise you would take care of me no matter what. I am sorry that I crushed not only your heart, but your mind and your soul as well. I can't do anything to make it right for you. I am sorry that I made you believe that you weren't enough. I am sorry that I went through you, that I sacrificed you to make Alex reveal himself. I completed my circle. You are free from your promise. There is nothing I could do to make things right, but I want you to know that I had been happy with you in our home. You are the only man I had be happy with in my life, and this home is now yours. I leave it to you to be happy again making new memories in it, or sell it and find a new home where your heart is feeling that's home again. He took the painting and left the room. I opened the closet and started searching for clothes. I put on a pair of pants and a blouse. I took a jacket and went to the front door. "Where do you think you're going?" said Mark, who was sitting in the dark in the living room. "Are you going to stop me?" I asked him back without even turning on the lights. "I could never stop you. Not then, not now. If I could do that, we would be happy today instead of speaking in the dark at that distance like strangers. I can't sleep in a house that's yours. I feel like an imposter of a life that I can't recall. I can't pretend that's not haunted from all the promises that weren't fulfilled. You have no home. You have nowhere to sleep. I don't care. I will come up with something. You never had a home and you will never have a home. Your kindness is fair considering your memories." I opened the door and stepped outside. Mark didn't make a move to stop me. You never had a home and you will never find one because you are your home. You don't need any walls or any roof above it to call it your home. You don't need furniture or any other living being to inhabit your home. You inhabit your home. Our problem wasn't that you were not enough for me. Our problem was that you didn't need me. You didn't need anyone to feel complete. You were born complete. Far from perfect, but complete. You still love me, don't you? In case I were, I would be vulnerable to you. Love is absolute trust, is surrendering your existence to someone else. Once I surrender, I can no longer take care of you, so what you ask is impossible where we stand. The other one died in front of you, didn't she? Yes, she overdosed herself in this living room while I wasn't here. I returned here and found her dying, suffocating in her vomit. And that was when you asked Alex's help. I asked your God for help, but he never answered back. So when you were no longer breathing, despite my efforts, I asked the devil for a favor. Yet you knew that Alex was the one who was giving me the drugs. Yes, that's why he was the only one who could retrieve them from your system. I can't tell if he didn't give you the correct medication, if your brain stayed too long without oxygen, or you made a conscious choice of not returning back, but in my mind and soul, you died that night. The one I love never made it back, but I couldn't leave the one who opened her eyes. I took responsibility of the creature that would return for as long as we were alive. That was Alex's only condition to give me the antidote. So Alex forced you to bring a monster back, Dr. Frankenstein. No, it wasn't Alex. Alex was nothing but means to have you back. What I thought was love then made me do it, but it wasn't love. It was my inability to let you go. If I had ever really loved you, I would gracefully let you go. That's what you're doing now? You are letting me go? If you wanted to go, you would be already gone. You are still talking with me because you want to feel reassured that it's okay to stay here. Is it? We bought that painting together. It took us some time to find it, but when we looked at it, we knew that it was meant to be our secret dream catcher. Every time we would fall asleep beneath it, we would be as happy as we were together. Once Alex took you to the lab and people came placing cameras here, I removed all our photographs and my personal stuff from the house. I couldn't leave the painting behind. I took it down to take it with me, and then I saw what was written behind it. I left it behind on purpose, hoping that at some point you would discover your letter behind it. that the same instinct that drove you to right behind it, knowing that I would turn it around, would make yourself turn it around too. How did we meet? Come back inside and I will tell you. You don't have to stand on the door. You are not leaving. Not tonight anyway. You don't have to tell me anything if you don't want to. I closed the door behind me, took off my jacket, and sat on an armchair close to him. I never paid any attention to Mark before. I always considered him as Alex's puppet, so as soon as we returned to the house, knowing that I was the first one in this timeline and looked at the painting, I just knew. If I wanted to send a message, it would be there. I saw the letter and the photograph while he was giving me time to change my clothes. Nevertheless, it wasn't a message for him. It was from him. I had been searching for someone I had never met or knew, while I had no idea that someone who used to be that important to me has been by my side all along. I saw him daily, but I had never noticed him. I had to get access to my previous knowledge, and Mark was the only one who could pass it backwards to me. Yet I knew he was not willing to unbury the dead one. I don't have to do anything, Janus. I chose to do it knowing that a part of you doesn't believe anything of it and wonders if Alex is listening to what we say or if he has already told me what to tell you and what should I keep it as a secret. How did we meet? We met each other daily on your way to work, and one day you decided to speak to me. How did we meet? I'm asking you a specific question, and I'm expecting a specific answer. You can't see any human being. You see numbers, algorithms, patterns and possible outcomes. There are no humans for you. I met you in the lab soon after I connected the bridge to your brain. I was the first person you saw when you opened your eyes. I was the first person who watched your dreams through the bridge on a screen. Long time before we met, you found a baby cuckoo that had fallen from the nest. You took it home and you asked what you should do to keep it alive. You were told to keep him in the darkness and avoid human contact. You put it in the bathroom and you stayed with it. The baby cuckoo died. How did you learn this story, Janus? This wasn't in the files. You should have remembered that when I'm asking a specific question, I'm not looking for the answer. I'm waiting to hear your answer so that I will know where you stand before me. And then I shall stand before thee and I will lay willingly every weapon of mine on the ground. There will be nothing left for you to take, so you will have no choice but to take me. Look at me. Here I stand before thee, naked, on my knees, unarmed. Take me. You were right. We saw each other daily. It was me who came to you, but it was you who said those words. That was the time we actually met and you knew. You had only one chance, and you played your wild card, your truth. You knew that I would never hit an armed man, so I laid my weapons on the ground. You knew my code at first sight. You couldn't have known it unless you were trained on it. I never claimed to be an innocent one. The very moment you revealed to me that you could see me armed, we both knew that you weren't innocent either. I was able to see you among a sea of similar, expressionless, nameless faces as I was moving towards my quest. I stopped. I changed my path in order to divert you from yours and tell you that I saw you. I recognized you for what you were, and that was okay. Since I could see you hiding among them, what made you believe that I couldn't find you with my eyes closed? Your grief is not for me. Your grief comes from your lack of faith. Despite what you were told, you didn't believe that you could find someone like me. You lived with me. You got a taste of me. You saw me. You heard me. You touched me. And you smelled me every night before you fell asleep, breath by breath, you were more afraid of me. Suddenly, you took back what you offered freely. You became aware of your nudity, but it wasn't a matter of your choice anymore. You no longer trusted me because you were uncertain of my intentions. You were vulnerable again. You became ashamed of your gift, and you claimed it back. You left this home and turned it into a house again. You are living with another woman now. You are married and you joined Alex for the money at first. You stayed, believing that you could make peace with the fact that you lost someone with me. I bet that if you turn on the lights and search underneath the table, you will find a more recent photograph of you with your wife. I haven't seen it, but if I was to choose a hiding spot, that's where I would put it. I don't need your answers. I just need you to concentrate on what I am asking. You are answering to me without speaking any words. You have seen me doing it at the lab. What made you think that I wouldn't do it outside? It was too late for Alex when he realized what you are. You're a freak, a disgusting human being. Fortunately, humans sooner or later will always realize what you are and throw you away like trash. Sooner is what I keep hoping for. You don't deserve any sympathy or compassion. You lost your right on them long ago. You were right. You crushed me. Despite all odds, I survived you. There is nothing but a void inside me for you. Once you realized that I was done with my past, exhausted, unwilling to remove my arms from the ground and use them again, you came after me with any guilt you could create and impose upon me. I felt dirty, ashamed, unworthy of you. Eventually I had to choose between me and you. I chose me. Far from thinking less of me than when we met, I couldn't recognize me anymore. You were sucking up every thought of mine, every emotion like a vampire, and I had to set myself free again. Do you feel free now? If I was free, I wouldn't be here now, would I? Yes, you would, if you wanted to measure your degree of freedom. You had the choice to let me die. A memory that can be altered is invincible. I am not going to give you that. I need you to create more memories to replace the old ones. I need a memory of you as a human being, the human being that once I thought you were in order to bury you and leave you buried for good. So you are going to be on Alex's side till the end? If that's what's necessary, yes. You need to be stopped. You are dangerous to all those who don't know what you are. Do you know what I am? The woman that I loved, and now she stands naked before me. Alex may work hard to find his answers. He may take extreme measures to deprive you of every weapon of yours till you have none. Then he can face you as I face you now, naked. But he hasn't understood yet the most important thing. You are your weapon. Even when you can't create a new one, you transform into one, and that's when you can be lethal. People say that we recognize only what is familiar to us. Are you sure that you are talking about me right now and not you? I am the only one upon whom you can unfold your soul's darkness and stand still. I always gave you the right to do it and feel comfortable about that. It has never been me the one you see. I am your mirror. It's you the one you are looking at. I sense your desperate need of breaking the mirror. I reflect your best and worst self. You have total freedom to choose where you will stand. There is no such thing. You remember too. Your instinct will decide which one will prevail and rise. You heard your lullaby you asked for. You can go to sleep now. I will be here when you wake up. I am certain that tomorrow will be an excellent opportunity to make one another miserable again. You wouldn't like to miss any chance given because of your fatigue, so go and have some rest. I will unfold my tale and sleep on the couch, my beloved. Your snoring will be like a red, red rose blooming endlessly into my dreams.